Hello, today I'm going to be talking about losing your identity in your marriage. And I'm going to talk into how this can affect you, because it can be something that happens that you don't even realise. It can happen quite slowly over a length of time. So I want to talk into that. I want to talk about how this can really affect you very, very deeply, very personally, and how that then trickles through into your marriage. And I also want to talk into having the difficult conversations about this. So what do we do about this? Having the difficult conversations, how it then can affect your values and how you show up in the world, and what you can begin to do if you do find yourself in this position that you are losing your identity in your marriage. So the first thing I want to speak into on this is you can begin to feel unmotivated, exhausted. It's like you've lost your mojo. You lose a sense of yourself. You start to lose interest in the things that you may have had interest in previously. It can show up very differently for many different people. Also, when you can begin to lose your identity in your marriage, you might start being a pleaser. And when I say start, for a lot of people, they already are a pleaser. This is something that occurs when we're really quite young. And it's a conditioning, and we continue it into our intimate relationship and into our marriage. So what do I mean by conditioning? Okay, conditioning is when we're little people, we look outside of ourselves. Mum, Dad, please see me, please love me. If I do this, if I do really well at school, or if I try really hard, if I be a good girl or be a good boy, you might freaking see me. And then in seeing me, you might give me a bit of love. So this is a conditioning that begins to happen. How does this set us up? Well, it sets us up because we don't know how to give to ourselves. We're actually really reliant on somebody outside of ourselves telling us that we are okay. It's our sense of worth is reliant on somebody outside of ourselves. And look, I'm out of a 30-year marriage, and I just see it as the biggest teacher and the biggest gift, because for a large part of my marriage, I was reliant on my ex-husband giving me my sense of worth. I did not have that inside of myself. My sense of self-esteem, my sense of self-worth was reliant on him. So if he was having a good day, then I would get some. If he wasn't having a good day, then my self-esteem and my sense of self would begin to deteriorate. And through all of this, a disappearance of my identity. Who am I? So let's open that up. Who am I? Who am I is not the house, the job, the career, the car you drive, the partner you have. Your identity is not that. Your sense of self is not outside of yourself. And for so many of us, until we go through pain and heartache and we have to begin looking at ourselves, that we then get that our sense of identity is not outside of ourselves. So look, if we were to really, I suppose, give a big title of what this is all about, it is our conditioning. But we have a choice. You know, when we're little kids, we don't have a choice. We don't have a choice the family that we're born into. We don't have a choice of who our parents are. I mean, that's going into the spiritual realm. But what I'm saying is, a lot of this, we are dealt cards and we do not have a choice. And so if we come back to present day, if you are feeling like, yeah, Helen, I am a pleaser, I feel shut down because if I say anything, it doesn't go down very well. That can then, little by little, chip away at who you are. And so what do we do about this? The first place is to recognize. So if you are feeling a strong emotion, that's the first place to start, is recognize that. And where in my body am I feeling that. And so it's being able to drop into the body and, okay, I'm feeling that in my gut. I'm feeling really agitated. I'm feeling really frustrated. So feel it. Allow it to be there. You know, we don't have control over our emotions. We think we do. And look, we can turn to our vices, our drinking, or, you know, Facebook, or all the things that we do to distract ourselves from ourselves. However, that isn't going to help you create a stronger identity and a sense of self. Because to be in a happy relationship, it is about each person having a strong sense of their own identity and their sense of self. You know, when I have a couple come in and they're sitting in front of me or they're online, and I hear from both of them, and, you know, I may hear from the gentleman first and say, where are you at? What's going on for you? What are you feeling? And that in itself can be extremely confronting to, oh, how am I? Because we're not very good at being with ourselves. And we're not very good at actually recognizing what we're feeling in our body. I know for me, for many decades, I've found it very hard to stay in my body and stay connected to the emotions. I haven't known how to. I haven't known how to be with the strong emotions. You know, you would have heard of fight, flight, freeze. It's because we don't know how to be with that strong emotion. Because if we go way back to when you're little, you're not taught any of this stuff. And we begin waking up when we're feeling at our lowest. We begin waking up when perhaps we're drinking too much, or perhaps we're numbing down too much, or perhaps we're avoiding, perhaps we're really defensive, perhaps we're neglecting our own self-care. We know that we're doing all these things, yet we don't know how to change it. And so change often only happens when we're in pain. And so the first place to start is to be able to begin recognizing what's actually going on in your body, and to be able to slow down and get out of this, you know, this head that likes to comment about everything, and being able to just be. And I know for many years I have fought this. You know, I started a meditation practice years ago. I'm only reaping the rewards now, because I know that to lose your identity is a heartbreaking experience, and you can begin to lose your sense of purpose. You can begin to feel powerless. And so the only way through this is through it. You can't go around the outside. You actually have to get to know yourself intimately. It's about being able to drop into the body and recognize, what am I feeling? What's here? And then allow it. And you know what? There's nothing more liberating than when you have been perhaps a flighter. You're always out of here. So when you're out, or freeze, to be able, and a fighter, to be able to drop into the body and actually feel it. So the first place, recognize what's here, feel it, allow it. And then from there, particularly if it's not a strong one. So this is the thing, is to begin a practice where you start with little bits. And what I mean by little bits, it could be a little bit of an aggravation. I'm feeling really aggravated. Where in my body am I feeling that? Allow it. And then from there, investigate, well, why am I aggravated? Yeah, I'm aggravated because the shopkeeper was rude to me and it pissed me off. So investigate. Okay, yep, that's here. However, and this is the clinker, where you do not look outside to get what you need, you look inwardly. What do I need to feel better? You know, we often find it very, very difficult to give to ourselves what we need. We're really good at giving it to other people. And so it's, you know, breathing into, okay, well, what do I need? All right, I I need to go for a bit of a walk, or I need to journal, or I just need some quiet time. And the more that you do this, the more you're going to be okay in turning up for yourself, and the more your identity, your sense of self. So what is identity? Identity is being able to tap into this inner power source within yourself. And from there, your sense of purpose, your sense of self, what do you value? Do you know what your top values are? When you say your yeses and nos, are they aligned to your values? How do you sabotage? All of this is your sense of identity. So to be in a healthy marriage, it's for each person to have a strong sense of their own identity. And your identity is not out there. It's an inner job. It's how do you connect inwardly? And so from here, you're going to be able to have the difficult conversations with people, because you'll have a sense of your own identity, and you won't walk out on yourself. You will stay in the difficult conversations, because in a happy, healthy relationship, having conflict is a given. It is actually really, really healthy to have a healthy relationship. And so being able to stay in that, it's not easy. If it was easy, we would all do it. And we wouldn't lose our identities, would we? And I do find at different times in your life, it could be 21, it could be 30, 40, 50. Often I see people at those different ages, and they connect with me, and I don't even know what I enjoy anymore. Because what happens in relationships is people little by little start giving up the hobbies, the interests, the friends that gave them joy. So it's so important to keep coming in, and I get it if you've got kids. They take up a lot of energy and a lot of space. However, losing your identity can take up a lot of energy and space, and also create a lot of heartache. So I would encourage you, as an invitation, what is one action step that you could begin right now to start connecting inwardly with you, for you to create a rich, strong, purposeful identity with yourself. And I know I'm just about out of time, and this is a really big topic. I've touched on the outside. Anyway, I'm going to finish up, and like I say every week, the power of change is within you. See ya.